Good morning, year 3, or afternoon. I don't know when you watch this, but anyway, it's good to see you. Welcome back to another lesson of RE. And if you remember, this half term we are looking at the practices that Jewish people have. So we looked at the synagogue, where Jewish people go to worship, and we looked at bar and bat mitzvah, which is, of course, it's the festival, the celebration of coming of age. So Jewish people, when they turn 13, they take responsibility for following the mitzvot, the law of Judaism. They read the Torah in the synagogue and they come of age at 13. And then today we are looking at Hanukkah, which is a festival. Now, Hanukkah usually occurs just before Christmas does. So Hanukkah was back in sort of mid-December, but it's a huge festival in the Jewish calendar. It's got some similarities to Christmas in terms of giving gifts and things like that, but it's got some differences as well, some very special Jewish traditions around Hanukkah. And you might have seen Hanukkah celebrations going on, or you might have, if you've been to Trafalgar Square, you might have seen the, this is called a menorah that they have up. I wonder if you know where this menorah in the picture is. Well, it's in Berlin. It's in front of the Brandenburg Gate in Germany, in Berlin. So Hanukkah is the Jewish festival of light, which takes place in December. For Jewish families, it is a time to come together and celebrate. Jewish people light a candle on the menorah on each of the 8 days of Hanukkah. Let's have a look at this BBC Newsround article about Hanukkah. What we're going to do then is we're going to read through this article, we're going to watch the videos that are in it, and once we've done that, well, obviously you can't tell your partner unless you happen to be a twin, lucky you, but we're going to tell ourselves. So I'm going to ask you these questions and you're going to tell me the answer, and then you're going to record the answer to all of these questions here in your booklet. Okay, let's make a start. So we'll watch this video.
Hanukkah is the Jewish festival of lights. The Greeks didn't want the Jewish people to carry out their traditions or laws, so they formed an army led by Judah Maccabee and won.
But after the temple was destroyed, they wanted to light the menorah, but there was only one drop of oil left.
A miracle then happened, and that drop of oil lasted for 8 nights.
We celebrate Hanukkah to remember these miracles.
What traditions do you have on Hanukkah? First of all, we light the menorah. We add another candle each night. Second of all, we play the funnest game called Dreidel. We also have delicious donuts because they are fried in oil.
At school, we normally have a big assembly every day with the whole school.
We still want Hanukkah to be special this year, so we're having a candle lighting in all the classes every day on Zoom. We will be allowed to sing, but only in our classes.
We will be having special art lessons focusing on Hanukkah, and we will be decorating our classrooms.
We will play games. Our head teacher is even doing a Zoom Hanukkah bingo for the whole school.
Hanukkah at school is very special.
This year I can't play dreidels with my friends at the synagogue. I'll just play them with my family.
We wish someone a happy Hanukkah by saying Hanukkah Sameach.
This means Happy Hanukkah.
Hanukkah Sameach!
Very nice. So that's a bit about Hanukkah being different this year. Let's read the article. In the UK and around the world, Jewish adults and children celebrate the Jewish festival of light called Hanukkah. The date of Hanukkah changes every year because it depends on the calendar, but it will always fall in November or December. It lasts for 8 days and it might also be called Hanukkah, so CH instead of H. In 2020, it happens from nightfall on the 10th of December until nightfall on the 18th of December. But due to COVID, it will be a bit different. Well, we know that. Families mark Hanukkah by lighting a candlestick with 8 candles called a Hanukkah. I've never heard of that before. I thought it was called a menorah. Okay. The word Hanukkah means rededication and celebrates one of the greatest miracles in Jewish history. But what was the miracle to be celebrated, and how do people mark the festival today? Take the quiz below and read on to find out more. Okay, well, we're not going to do the quiz. What's the story of Hanukkah? The festival reminds Jews of a time over 2,000 years ago when the Jews won a battle against the Greeks to practice their religion freely. So 2,000 years ago is around the time of the Romans. The Romans and the Greeks were a bit before that. Well, the Greeks were involved in this story. The Greeks had banned all Jewish rituals. King Antiochus tried to make Jewish people bow down in front of a statue of him that had been put in the Jewish temple and pray to Greek gods, but they refused. A small group of Jews called the Maccabees fought against this, and after a 3-year war, they won. However, their Jewish temple had been destroyed. This picture shows the Maccabees rising up against the Greeks. So here are the Maccabees, the brave Jewish forces, and you can see the Greeks in the background there destroying the Jewish temple, very important building for Jewish people. They cleaned and repaired the temple, then to celebrate the victory an oil lamp was lit. There was only enough oil to burn the candle for 1 day, but miraculously, that means amazingly, unbelievably, it burned for 8 days. And that's why the Hanukkah festival lasts for 8 days, and why light is a really important celebration. How is it celebrated? Hanukkah will be different this year due to coronavirus. Although families and friends may not be able to visit each other in the normal way, many will celebrate together even if that means doing it virtually. Hanukkah is a fun time for children as they will receive gifts and Hanukkah money. Some families give each other a small present on each of the 8 nights of Hanukkah.
I enjoy Hanukkah because it's a special time and we can spend time with our families and sing songs and really be happy.
I look forward to being with all my family, saying melts or singing the songs, playing the dreidel game.
I really enjoy spending time with my family and eating delicious donuts and oily foods.
It's important to me because the Jewish people stood up for what they believed in, and even though the Greeks wanted them to stop being Jewish and not doing Jewish things, but they stood up for what they believed in.
You get to spend time with your family, and you don't usually get to always spend time with them, and you eat oily foods and they're really, really yummy.
If you think back, some of those people could be a part of our family, and it's a big deal to me.
My favourite thing about Hanukkah is sitting down with my family and just celebrating everything.
My favourite thing that I like to do every year is actually Hanukkah because, one, you get to spend time with your family, and also you get to have foods that you don't normally have.
Happy Hanukkah!
Well, there we go. So, lots of oily foods like donuts, latkes, which are like potato cakes. Lovely. I absolutely love the food around Hanukkah. Who wouldn't love donuts, honestly? And the oil obviously represents the oil that was in the lamp being lit miraculously for 8 days. Traditionally, there is a special game that children and adults play together. It involves a spinning top called a dreidel, which is a cube-shaped dice with a Hebrew letter on each of the 4 sides. To begin the game, each player has 10 to 20 objects, which are often raisins or sweets. Each person puts one object in the middle and takes a turn at spinning the dreidel.
We play the dreidel game, which is where we spin a dreidel, and whatever we land on, we get coins, chocolate coins or other items, and if we landed on a shim, for example, you have to put one of yours in, but if you landed on a young, you get nothing. And the reason we play that game is because when the Jews were secretly learning Torah, if a Greek came, they would hide the Torah and bring out this dreidel and pretend to play with the dreidel.
Come on!
There you go, fun game. So it's sort of like you spin, depends what letter you get from the Hebrew alphabet. The letter that the dreidel shows when it has finished spinning decides whether they win or lose. The holiday is celebrated by lighting an 8-branch candlestick called a Hanukkah, or also called a menorah, I think more commonly. Okay, what do Jewish people eat at Hanukkah? Oh, latkes are so good. A type of potato fritter, so you grate potato and then you put it together and then you fry it. So good. Hanukkah is a great time for eating special food. Some dishes have special meaning, such as latkes, which are a type of potato fritter, pancakes and donuts. This is because they are fried in oil, and by doing so, by preparing and eating this food, Jewish people remember the miracle of the oil lasting 8 days in the temple. Well, that's great. Okay. Amazing. So what we're going to do now is have a look at our booklet and look at the 4 questions that you need to be able to answer. So what is the reason that Jewish people celebrate Hanukkah? Well, we can go back to the article and we can look and see the story of Hanukkah. Remember, you need to be using words like Maccabees, okay? M-A-C-C-A-B-E-E-S, and Greeks. And you can even use the word King Antiochus if you want to. And oil. You need to use the word oil as well. What kind of traditions take place during Hanukkah? Well, we looked at a couple, didn't we? We looked at how they give each other gifts on each of the 8 nights of Hanukkah. We looked at this game. Do you remember what this game was called? It's called dreidel, okay? And that's how you spell it, D-R-E-I-D-E-L. And we also looked at the food that people eat at Hanukkah. What would be your favourite part of the Hanukkah celebration? Okay, gosh. I think dreidel's a really fun game. But I think it has to be potato latkes. with like sour cream. That's my favourite part. And what do Jewish people eat? So that's our last question here about the latkes and the donuts. And I wanted to mention why they eat these things that are fried in oil as well in that section. Good, okay, and then, so that's the end of Hanukkah. And then next lesson we're looking at this, Rosh Hashanah, which is, well, we'll find out. And we're going to look at that, and we're going to look at a similar article then. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Do send in any work that you've done in the RE work, and I will see you later. Have a lovely weekend. Bye, Year 3.